Good afternoon. Today's a good Monday for us. It's Victory Monday, after a nice win against Charlotte last Saturday evening. It was a performance that I was very pleased to see. I thought our defense played a fantastic ball game. They really did. He shut down Charlotte. I think they had 276 yards of offense and really kind of just took control of that game from the onset and let us kind of find our way offensively and until we could get some points on the board. But they really, just played, it was just great to see. And we had played two tough opponents, and Charlotte was coming in here with a lot of momentum. They just beaten Duke. They just beaten Garner-Webb. They're 2-0. They're feeling really good. They got that feel good feeling over there on their sideline, running up and down, and we really took it to them. So I was pleased to see that.
All right, questions for Coach Elliott at this time. As a friendly reminder to members of the media, if you would keep yourself on mute until asking your question, and then remute yourself. We would appreciate it. Go ahead with questions for Coach.
Coach, quick question about the quarterback situation. Obviously, Darren kind of did what he was asked, it looked like to me. Just 17 rushes and very limited passing, but just looked under control. What now looking kind of back at the film, what would you grade his performance there? And obviously, is he in line to start this weekend at Auburn?
Yeah, Darren, early on, he missed some deep shots. They were pressing up on our guys, and I didn't feel like they should have been able to do that. And we just missed some overthrows right there that I thought would be some big long gainers, safe long gainers, I call them. And we missed them early on. And then he settled in, and I think it was the third or fourth series. We gave him two more shots at it. And I kind of tipped this to Cradle, because that first one he threw to Cradle, he made an unbelievable shot. I mean, when I say he just going out and he willed himself to catch that football. Pass wasn't a great thrown ball by any stretch, but he makes that catch, and then you could kind of see it. It's almost like, okay, yeah, I got one caught, and it was a marvelous catch, and let's go right back. And he threw that nice ball to Thrash, and then he all settled in, and he did everything we asked of him from then on out. It was really good that our defense played so great, because we were able to manage the football game and control the line of scrimmage running the football and not really asking Darren to do anything that make him uncomfortable. He hadn't played in a long time. He really hasn't played in a long time. I think in 2019 was the last time he played. He only started 4 games there at Furman, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. So we were just trying to work him in there nicely, but I thought he did a good job. He had a great confidence about him. Our players, I look at the quarterback position is a little crazy, well, especially for me, because I see what other people are kind of how they're reacting to his play, or when he comes off the sideline, how they respond to him. Excuse me. And they were responding quite well to him, and I was pleased with him. So yes, he's in line to start again this week. We're going to, of course, go out there, and it's just like every week. I told Hayes, our punter today, I said, if you don't perform, then we're looking to find somebody that can do that. And I tell everyone that. And so we all need to understand that. It's no different if I'm not performing at my job. It's just that's nature. So we're always searching for bigger and better things, of course, and we'll certainly try to find that. But right now, he's in line for it.
How did Quad Brown respond to obviously not being named the starter and kind of his reaction throughout the game? I know he was obviously engaged, and certainly cheering on the teammates from what I could see.
As a mature man, he came in here, and I told our entire football team in the locker room, I call out certain guys who are doing well, and I actually mentioned Quad because when you get pulled as a starter, and especially the quarterback position, it can really devastate some people. You can pout, you can mope, you can this day and age, you say, hey, I'm transferring or whatever it is. And not only did he look you straight in the eye and accept it, he was watching more film. He was working after practice. I mean, we played at 7 o'clock the other night, and at 2 o'clock, I mean, it looked like he had ran through a practice out on our game field. So I thought he responded well. I'm not naive enough to think that it didn't affect him to some degree, but I think he handled it like a mature man.
Hey, Coach, Jordan Hill with Black Auburn News. I just want to ask, what has sort of stood out to you in getting ready for Auburn and the challenge you think they're going to present?
I mean, it's just Monday. We haven't been, really preparing all that much for them. I mean, they're big, they're physical, they're talented. They've got kind of the pick of the litter. They are Auburn, and just they're athletic. It's just who they are, and it's what they're about. The SEC. If you look at their interior D line, some mammoth men in there, but across the board, they're talented. They certainly are.
How you doing, Coach? Good to speak to you, especially after a win.
Yes, sir.
So I think last time we left off on especially after North Carolina, you talked about you had some fat cats in the locker room and everything. Do you feel like that mentality changed from your team following that Charlotte win? And do you feel like this is going to help you as you go into to your final out of conference opponent at Auburn?
Well, I don't think attitudes just change instantly. You have to continually progress and change that mindset throughout the course of practices and in the course of the year. So, we're working in the right direction. It certainly showed that, if you watch us on film from Saturday night's contest, that we played as a team. I mean, we really did. It wasn't about the show and, what we were doing. It was about us going out there and winning. I mean, it was about offensively really grinding the football out on the running game and defensively just playing with great effort and attacking. I think we're on the right direction. We'll see.
Shawn, I wanted to ask a follow-up going off, you guys get ready to go back to an SEC stadium. Obviously, you guys had success a couple of years ago at Tennessee. Is there anything from that experience, that Tennessee win, that you think that you guys or that you and also your players can kind of take advantage of, something you guys learned from the experience going into Saturday?
No, I don't think so. I mean, when we played Tennessee, when you watch them on film, you see some obvious holes back then, a few years back that we could go establish, and we just felt like we could play with them. I mean, there's no different if you play in Auburn or you play in Alabama or you play in Charlotte. We felt like we could go in there in Knoxville and knock them off, and we did. And we're going to search through this Auburn bunch and see if we can find some creases in that defense and some struggles in that offense where we can control this game and see what happens. But it's two totally different scenarios. I don't think just because they got a big old stadium right there and they like to cheer and there's going to be a little eagle fly over us, I don't think we're all going to be just shell shocked and look up there and go, oh my gosh, it's a football contest. So we'll go play it just like every other football contest.
Coach Elliott, how you doing? And first of all, congratulations for Saturday night, having a chance to speak to you.
Thank you, sir.
Your pre-conference schedule was set to do a number of things. We talked about how challenging it's going to be. What stones haven't been turned over yet that you want to see turned over by would wish to see turned after this game coming up Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at our non-conference in our first four games, I truly had, to be totally honest with you, I thought the Charlotte game would be a really good sign of who we are. I mean, you face an Army team, and it's a little different. I mean, it is. I mean, coaches may say it's not, but it's a different element when you play that bunch. And then you go play North Carolina, in North Carolina, and they've got some talented skill players. And like I said, they got a great quarterback, and we saw that. And they still do. I mean, it didn't change my mind. And then you kind of come back and you say, all right, this is a measuring. This past Saturday was a kind of a measuring stick for us where we are. See who we kind of matched up with. And I thought Charlotte was a good contest coming in, and I thought it was a good contest coming out. So we'll see. We still have one more non-conference game. It is Auburn. I'm not going to sit here and lie. They're bigger and they're stronger and they're faster. But we're still going to go out there and push them, and see what we can do. There's no different. But after our four contests, we're going to kind of really know exactly what we're made of. And we're probably to the point that we do. I think we can against our level of competition, I think we can match up pretty good defensively. And I think as we continue to grow offensively, we're going to be just fine.
Coach, I want to ask you, a couple guys saw on the sidelines, not dressed for the Charlotte game. If you had an update yet on Sam, Chris Moore, I know like he was not dressed as well, and I know Cornelius McCoy looked like he only played, looked like he got dinged there and only played 10, 11 snaps.
Yeah, Chris got he had a head injury, concussion, and Sam Pinckney's dealing with a little hamstring, and then McCoy had another little hamstring pull right there in the first, I guess it was the first quarter. So yeah, we're dealing with that a little bit. We're going to progress Sam a little bit during the course of this week, and like I said, Auburn's Auburn. If Sam can go out there and play, great. If we can't, we may shell him again for this week, try to get them ready for this conference slate. Nobody's going to put a ring on your finger for going out and beating Auburn. So,
Shawn, you guys have a couple of guys from East Alabama, some of our local high schools out here, in Terrell Gordon and Mason Cook. Just in the time that they've been there in the program, what have kind of stood out to you about both those guys?
yeah, both those guys are really good football players. Mason Cook's probably our sixth guy in at the offensive line in our rotation. He's doing a marvelous job. Gordon, he's a defensive player all the way. He loves to run and hit. He's physical. He's aggressive. Really pleased to see. You can see that they came from a very good football program. When I say they love the football there, it's very evident and it's important. And when you recruit guys like that from areas just like they're from, it's easier to have them come in as freshmen and produce for you, because it's not just football 3 or 4 days a week. It's 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and I like that about guys.
Hey, Coach, I know that of course, you're looking at Auburn and the next game and everything, but especially as you get started on this conference schedule, how excited are you guys to finally start playing conference opponents? And I know that you're always looking at how you measure up against competition, and I bet you guys are watching, Coastal Carolina, South Alabama, and App State. How excited are you guys just to get back to the grind of playing Sun Belt opponents?
I tell you what, after this 4-game non-conference slate, I think I'm going to kick my feet up and have a cold beer before I start thinking about this conference schedule. But no, it will be exciting. It'll be a lot more exciting next week than it is this week. But that 4 non-conference games that we're fixing to go finish up has been a tough stretch, and we'll certainly be excited to play App State in 2 weeks.
Coach Elliott, when we talked with the coaches from Charlotte, they were really wary of Destin Coach. They felt like he was overdue for a really breakout game, and it looked like he was on his way to that early on. And the unfortunate turnover that happened, and we just didn't see much of him after that. Talk about him contributing and getting on track and contributing the way that he should. Take nothing away from Tucker the trucker. He was very reliable Saturday night, but just thoughts about Destin and getting him on track the way you want him to be.
Well, I think Destin had, 4 carries for 85 yards. So yeah, he was on track. But certainly you can't carry the football and turn it over. And we've been beating our heads a little bit trying to figure out what's just causing him to turn it over. I'm not sure. But I can't sit back and I can't watch it occur over and over and over again. It doesn't matter. It's just a matter of time before it happens again. And it's just like a year ago. The only way I knew how to stop that fumbling was not to play. Now we're going to talk and we're going to do everything in our power. Destin is a valuable part of this team. But we got to understand ball security. They named the game after the ball. It's the game. Turnovers is the game. And it was just very, very disappointing to see it happen. Destin's he's going to be fine. We're going to fix this problem that we have. And some people call it just bad luck, but it's happened way too many times for it to just be a bad luck situation. But we got good backs. And we're going to find a way to get him back in there and produce. Like I said, I think it was 4 carries for 85 yards, and he had that run. He should have taken it to the house. I mean, you know.
Any other questions for Coach?
Coach, I had one last one. Talking about running backs. Jam got into the end zone for the first time as a running back. How big was that for him? And obviously he was pretty excited after the game.
Oh man, you know, it's great for his confidence. You know, Jam's he's been wanting to hit that end zone for a long, long time. And you know, the way it works out, you know, sometimes I have to sit down and I have to have conversations with everyone about patience, and you never know when that time is going to come. And they always, you know, especially the running back, when you really play one guy in the formation and you have 4 or 5 guys that you can play, it's frustrating. I know it's hard. It really is. I talked to him about how unselfish this game is. You have to be the most unselfish person to play this game, because with 115 players standing over there on the sideline, you got 11 just out there playing. I mean, just think about it. I was really pleased to see. I thought he did a good job. He came in there and he gave us that spark, and he's got the speed to take up the distance, and he wants to be good and he wants to work. So I was pleased to see it. And when you see smiles like he had on his face after that, you know, it's all worth it.